I want to welcome back Bob Motta to the show. He's an attorney in Chicago. He's hosted the Defense Diaries podcast, and he has a very close personal connection to the John Wayne Gacy case because his father was Gacy's lawyer back in 1980. Bob, great to have you back. I know the series dropped today. So many questions. Wow. Talk to me about the additional victims, why you believe there are additional victims, how many and where.
So when we decided to take on this project, it became pretty evident to us that there was this period of time from 1972 to 1975 where Gacy was living in the house with his then wife, Carol, his mother-in-law, Carol's two children, and his mother. So he had 5 women and girls living in that house with him from 72, from 75. And law enforcement and the prosecution always believed that he was dormant during that period of time. We started digging in, and we discovered that there was a property that he had access to where he was a maintenance man, and his mother actually moved to this particular property. And my partner on the project, a former Chicago cop named Bill Dorsch, started interviewing all the people that lived in that building after Gacy was arrested, and the things that he found out were unbelievable with respect to the things that they observed during the time that Gacy was the maintenance man, which really kind of spurred everything on, and everything has kind of gone from there. In terms of the number, it's hard to say. I mean, it could be 4, it could be 5, but the way that we look at it, if we find one and we give that victim their name back and that family closure, we consider everything that we've been doing a great success.
The incredible part of your podcast is that you've got real tapes of audio. This is trial prep that your dad did with Gacy that hasn't been heard by the public before, and you're breaking all of this news. Set up a clip for me now that we're about to hear.
So the one that we're going to hear now is particularly disturbing. I think it was always a misnomer about Gacy that he would get his victims were all wayward kids that were basically acting as sex workers and just trying to struggle out in the streets, and that was the bulk of his victims. But the reality is that several of his victims actually were employees for his contracting company, and John Zick was one of those kids. And John Zick only worked for Gacy for about 3 days, and he so happened to go into the crawl space at Gacy's instructions and dug a trench down there, and that's setting up what you're about to hear.
Okay, let's roll the clip.
I might be just surmising it, but some of them that were killed were at my house more than once. In other words, once they came and participated, second time they came back with blackmail in mind. And rather than pay the blackmail, I eliminated them. This man dug his own grave on Thursday or that Friday when they were working, or I don't know when. But I think he had dug down a base and dug his own.
Bob, that gives me such chills to hear that. It's so incredibly disturbing, as if John Wayne Gacy wasn't disturbing enough. And then there's this headline that you're making that there may have been accomplices. Can you wrap up that notion for me and why you think so?
Yeah, there were a couple of guys that worked with Gacy, and both of them lived with Gacy for about a period of 6 months to a year each during Gacy's most active time in terms of his killing, which was 77 to 78. He was by far the most active out of any period of time. And both of these guys, so for instance, the clip that we just heard with John Zick, in the police reports themselves, Gacy, and on the tapes, talks about him waking up with John Zick's body dead in the hallway, and that he gets up, gets out of bed, walks out into the living room, and Mike Rossi is sitting there asleep on the couch. They then proceed to get Zick's keys, go into Wrigleyville, find Zick's car, and Rossi proceeds to drive John Zick's car around for 2 years up until the point that Gacy's arrested. So, and they're both in the reports known to have been digging the trenches in the crawl space under the guise that they were putting in drainage tile. When you start to put the pieces together, and frankly, during Gacy's first confession, because he confessed 5 times when they arrested him, the first thing he asked, the very first thing that he said is, "Who else do you have in the station? I had help." So all of those things are very strong indications that he probably had help.
I'm plugging your podcast again because this stuff is just, for true crime fans, it's just la creme de la creme. It's Defense Diaries. Again, just dropped again yesterday. Great series. Will you come back again? I'm not done with my questions, but we're out of time. Bob, thank you so much for this.
Of course. Anytime you'll have me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.